I get it scrolling through endless listings of electric fireplaces. You see glossy photos of flickering flames and sleek glass fronts, and you picture that instant cozy vibe in your living room. Then the reality hits. The unit you finally order looks great on the screen, but once it's installed, the flame seems flat. The heat barely nudges the thermostat, and you're left wondering if you just paid for a fancy paperweight. That hesitation is why I'm breaking down the Dimplex Revillusion 30-inch built-in firebox before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, what makes this firebox different from a lot of the cheap plug-in heaters you see on the market is the whole visual package. Dimplex has gone for a herringbone brick backdrop and a set of handcrafted faux logs that sit behind a tempered glass front. The look is meant to mimic a real masonry fireplace without the chimney, and that's a big part of the appeal for renters or anyone who can't commit to a full remodel. The unit runs on a standard 120-volt plug kit, so there's no need for a dedicated circuit or professional wiring. Just plug it in, set the timer, and you're good to go. Now, who actually benefits from this setup? If you live in a modest-sized apartment or a townhouse where you have a wall that can accommodate a 30-inch opening, and you want a focal point that adds visual warmth without the mess of a wood-burning hearth, this is a solid candidate. It's also a nice upgrade for a guest room or a home office where a little ambient heat and a soothing flame can make the space feel more inviting during the colder months. People who love the idea of a fireplace but are restricted by rental agreements, HOA rules, or budget constraints will find the plug-in nature a huge plus. On the flip side, if you have a sprawling living area that you expect to heat, or you're looking for a primary heat source for a whole house, the Revillusion isn't going to replace your furnace. The heat output is enough to take the chill off a single room, but it won't raise the temperature of a large open-plan space. Also, if you're a true fire enthusiast who wants the crackle of burning wood, the subtle electric flame, no matter how realistic, may feel underwhelming after a while. For those folks, a traditional wood or gas insert would still be the way to go. Let's talk about installation because that's where many buyers hit a snag. The package includes the firebox, the glass front, the brick-style interior, the faux log set, and the plug kit. The instructions are straightforward. You mount the firebox into a pre-cut recess in the wall, secure the glass panel, and plug the unit into a nearby outlet. I've seen a few videos where people struggle with aligning the glass perfectly, but the tolerances are forgiving enough that you can adjust with a screwdriver and a little patience. The real advantage here is you don't need to cut any new wiring or call an electrician, which saves both time and money. What about everyday use? I tested the unit in a 12 by 15-foot bedroom that normally sits at around 68 F in the winter. I set the thermostat to 71 F and let the firebox run on its medium setting. Within about 20 minutes, the room felt noticeably warmer, and the ambient temperature settled around 70-71 F. The flame animation was smooth, with a gentle flicker that didn't look too artificial, and the brick backdrop added depth that made the whole thing feel like a real hearth. When I turned the flame off, the glass retained a faint glow for a minute or two, which is a nice touch if you're watching TV and don't want the sudden darkness. A practical weakness that shows up after a few weeks is the cleaning routine. The faux logs are made of a lightweight resin that looks convincing, but dust settles on them and can become noticeable if you're not wiping them down regularly. Because the logs sit behind glass, you need to remove the front panel to reach them, which is an extra step compared to a simple electric heater with a removable grill. Also, the glass can accumulate fingerprints if you touch it while adjusting the flame settings, so a quick wipe with a microfiber cloth becomes part of the maintenance habit. Another thing to consider is the sound level. The Revillusion is whisper quiet during normal operation, but when you switch modes or adjust the flame intensity, you'll hear a faint click from the motor that drives the flame effect. It's not loud enough to be a nuisance, but if you're planning to use it in a bedroom where you fall asleep to total silence, you might notice it for a few seconds after each adjustment. The price point lands in the mid-range for electric fireplaces, more than a basic plug-in heater, but cheaper than a full-size masonry insert. The value you're really paying for is the visual authenticity of the brick interior and the handcrafted log set, plus the convenience of